benefited. And then on the other side, we, as the housing fund, will be the lender of last resort. And then we give an offtake undertaking. So we tell developers and contractors, go build, you have a sure buyer with the units. And then the housing fund says, take your money, go to the next project. Developer takes the money, goes to the next project, creates more jobs. The housing fund, my best. So boss just got to the place where our key interventions are. And before I talk about the development framework guidelines, I wanted to talk about squalor and then have now gotten a new home. Yeah, you feel some cash interruption and you think you're going to lose your house. So as lender of last resort, we will put in as many fail funds. Will do a lot more on safety net, which is really important because again, we're using public funds. Okay, so now take place. So having the housing fund actually helps us to create a wide variety of projects with a wide variety of investors, our developers, to build with confidence. So instead of building units in the hundreds, they will now build units in the thousands, be given money to be able to do projects and for the national good. These are the people are in business. And if they can't do all the projects, so we need other people to come and do projects as well. And then on this other side, the housing fund will then face the mortgage buyers, those on the tenant purchase scheme, which is their fund I was telling you is the lender of last resort. So because we've paid on your behalf, now you pay us slowly over time. And then we're a gentle lender.
Now I don't still feel we have earned it yet. So we are going to continue program as it is. There was a lot of mentioning of gene throughout this presentation.
It doesn't have to be perfect, but it has to be best effort. You know, some people in academia here, so I have to use that.
And financing options. Okay. So let's give her a very big hand. All right.
Your field projects. If you have people ready to buy and having access with cash from the housing fund, and there's no supply, then you have many people with many monies with nowhere to products. A home financing product at 5% with a long tenure. So we will allow the banks and even the SACCOs under KMRC to play their role. We can't create jobs en masse if we only have small projects. So we need the units in thousands. Now, the developers believe the housing fund.
So there's so many incentives, there's tax incentives, but then, we have to every day keep on looking because as you said, and cost is cost, and this cost, public information, the cost of steel in just the last couple of months has gone up, in some instances, up to 90%, and these houses, the biggest cost is what? Cement and steel. So if we don't do anything on those two, we will not be able to tackle the issue of affordability. So we are constantly working on that, but today in the afternoon, because here we are also listening, we want the industry to tell us what more do you think we can do as government, because again, we cannot just come and force and tell them this is what we're going to do. Tell us what you want us to do for you. We go sit back, and government works on policy, okay? But because this program is deliberately around stimulating the economy, you cannot stimulate the economy when you're not making those kind of interventions. We want many people to build. And by the way, so in terms of progress, we have made very good progress, I must say. The last couple of months, since about September, we have got about 36,000 units that are under construction as we speak. And those ones are ones that we have started. We had another 9,000 that were projects that we carried over from the Jubilee government into this government, and of course we didn't stop them, and they are under construction, and some of them are getting completed. And then this week we have about 29 projects that we are awarding. First 29 projects which are what we are calling constituency-based housing. So these are about 200 units per constituency. So that group that is sitting in there, they're not just talking abstract issues. We are looking at, there is a site at Karachuonyo, okay? This site is going to need so many masons, is going to need so many plumbers, is going to need so many people. That is what is going out there. There is not at ile conference ya kuongea maneno mingi mingi na kizungu kubwa kubwa hapana. Here we are on an implementation footing. So we look at our sites, we say, who do we need on that site? Who is going to do what on that site? Who are going to be employed on that site? And that's exactly what we're doing. So we have another 29 we are going to be awarding, and those are 29 constituencies. Then we have another 61 constituencies that I'm going to be advertising for people to start the construction. And then I have 178 parcels of land that are at various stages. Because you can't just wake up and start building on the land. There's feasibility, there is design, there is checking where the infrastructure is. So it is a very involving work. Yesterday, so we had all the big infrastructure. So Kenya Power now knows where all our sites are, so that they start preparing, so that we don't wait until the project is finished and then unasema, oh, hatuna meter, oh, we need a substation. So they are planning it now. Water, of course, you know that we have big challenges with water. So we don't want to build homes, they get completed, and then there is no infrastructure. We want to know, we are taking their plans, and then we are superimposing our implementation plan, and then we identify the gaps, and we start solving for the gaps. So that's why it's a massive delivery machine with everybody being a player. That is both from the government side and then from the private sector side. From the housing levy, the estimates that have been provided is 73 billion. So we are obviously very grateful. And again, part of what we are doing here is because this has obviously generated a lot of debate in the country. And we want to be good stewards of people's money. We know that if we can be able to keep to the principles of integrity, ensure that the cost is transparent, ensure that people who are getting those jobs is transparent, we honestly believe that a year from now, 2 years from now, Kenyans will actually start to see what we were talking about. But the warnings have already been sounded, okay? We know that there's going to be high scrutiny on this money. We will be subjected to all manner of investigation and audits. So we want to make sure that we protect this program from any scandals.
It will contribute to employment of so many young people who are graduating from the technical and vocational institutes, but also the engineers and architects, quantity surveyors who are graduating from our local universities. In terms of the technical and vocational training institutions, yes, they are giving us graduates who have done diplomas and artisanal courses, even from NITA. But when you look at them on the ground, when they are working on the ground, you find that there's a lot of skill gaps in terms of practical experience. And so we are working closely with NCA and National Industrial Training Authority so that, as the Principal Secretary said, we are going to have the construction sites as being a place where they can do the dual practical training. So they have the academic, which they're doing in the class, and then the practical part, they're going to be doing it on site. So the government should also invest in manufacturing, foreign direct investment in the manufacturing sector, and encourage investors to come and invest in this country so that the prices of commodities that we're using, like cement, goes lower, or the taxes should be reduced, or other incentives that can help reduce the cost of construction. So the government needs to give us space in order to be able to do this construction work with ease. But at the moment, it's very expensive. If you look at it per square meter, the cost has really risen, and it makes it difficult for local mwananchi to be able to invest in construction project.